Bradford.
No,
So,
you didn't.
yeah,
You
I
did
did.
not say that.
I could pull up the text right now. And I could say, "Merry Christmas, Coach. I'm coming to Bradford." So,
That's funny.
so yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 3 of the college baseball experience, the dorm room discussion. As you guys know, this is my dorm room. Today I got a really special guest. He's a first-team all-conference utility player. He's a catcher outfielder from Gibsonia, PA, graduated 2020 from Deer Lakes High School. Probably my best friend on my team, and we're always on the same page. Andrew Bokulich. Andy, how we doing today, brother?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
It's a Friday. Got BP on the field today.
Yeah, we
do. Best day. I mean, I personally, in my opinion, the best day in the fall.
Yeah.
Friday, BP, 70 degrees out, and it's sunny. And
yeah, for once.
Crank up the music and just go and do your thing.
Yeah, have a little fun. So you want to start? I've started this with everyone so far. You want to start with your recruiting? Oh, he's a senior, by the way. I didn't say that. Boke's a senior. Last year, he's going to go to grad school. Was a pre-med major. I didn't say all that in the intro.
Medical school.
What?
I'm trying to go to medical
school. Yeah. Man's going to make bread.
I'm going to try to, but.
So, Boke, we've done this. I've done this with everyone so far. You want to go through your recruiting process from when you were in high school? You can say the teams that were, looking at you, visits you went on. Just kind of give us the whole rundown of how it went.
Sure. Well, I mean, I was kind of a traditional guy, like everybody else. Played for a travel organization.
Yeah.
I played for Spikes at the time, and I would say, I was pretty serious about playing college baseball early in my high school career. So I wanted to start getting myself out there. So I would do like one showcase a year type thing. I did one my freshman year. I did one my sophomore year. Just because I wanted to see where my numbers were at. I wanted to get myself comfortable and acquainted with it, get all the nerves out and stuff. And then come my junior year, I decided to do the Whippeal Showcase. That's a very popular showcase. I recommend that to almost anybody in the Whippeal area, just because it's there's a lot of schools that go there, and I got a lot of interest from that. So let's turn the clocks back. So my junior year at the showcase, did the showcase, did showcase tournaments and stuff with Spikes. And then I started getting emails. So one of the emails I got, I think the first email I got was from Teal College, from Coach Shelley, which Coach Shelley's a really good dude. He said he was interested. He wanted to have me come up for a visit, talk a little bit. So I did that. I enjoyed Teal. I wasn't a big fan of the dorm rooms, but that was kind of one of the things that just kind of turned me off from there. But I really like their field. Their field's really nice. Their campus is really nice. I like their facilities. I like the big bubble that they have. And then I got an email from Coach Foster from here. He said, "Hey, I really like what you're doing. How about you come up for a visit?" Got a whole packet of stuff from him. Did a visit. And then right before the Whippeal Showcase, we were in playoffs for high school, and this was my last game in high school uniform because of COVID, whatever.
Yeah. And
I specifically remember it was early in the game. It was a close game, and I was playing left, and there's a runner on third, had a fly ball hit to me, caught it, threw the kid out at home.
Naturally.
Yeah. And I remember running into the dugout, and I saw a coach, like a college scout who was there, and I didn't know what college it was, but I saw a big A on his, a big yellow A on his cage jacket. And after the Whippeal Showcase, he also contacted me immediately after and was like, "Hey, like, we're really interested in you." It was Allegheny, Coach Crum. And he was like, "Hey, we're really interested in you. We want to have you up for a visit and stuff too. We also want you to come and do our camp as well." So I actually went up and did their camp before they got their turf field. So I saw the dirt field, which was still really nice. But I went through that whole process with them. They were really interested in me, and I kind of didn't know what I wanted out of the schools because they all had the major that I wanted,
Yeah.
biology, because that's of utmost importance to me is my academics first. So I decided to try to put everything on an even playing field as possible. So I did actually 3 overnights the fall of my senior year to each of those schools to get a better glimpse of like what campus life's about, what the guys on the team are about, um, and just get a feel for the campus, get a feel for the coaches. So I did an overnight at each place. I remember here my overnight guest, well, my host was Kevin. So I
Oh
stayed with
man.
Kevin. So I met, let's see, I met Kevin that night. I met Geb that night because Geb lived with Kevin in Faulkner.
Yeah.
Um, I
Oh, so
met,
this would have been this would have been my sophomore
yeah,
fall.
yeah.
So
I met
you probably
McNabb.
didn't meet me then.
No, I didn't.
Because
I didn't.
the funny thing is the way Faulkner's built, right?
Mm-hmm.
How it's like a T. Kevin, them were like on this wing,
Yeah.
then this wing, and then I was on this wing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I was
Yeah,
across
because
the
I
yard.
went. So I was in Kevin's room, and then I remember we watched because it was October.
Mhm.
We watched the ALCS Yankees Astros. That was 2019. So we watched
Mhm.
that series in McNabb's room because I met McNabb, I met
Mhm.
Batchy, DeLuca,
They were right downstairs.
because they were right downstairs.
Huh.
And then I kind of thought about it. I kind of just let myself sit, think about what I really wanted, um, weighed out my options. I sat down, I wrote everything out, pros and cons of each place, and looked at them even keeled and said, all right, I'm going to make a decision. And I made a decision and I chose Bradford. And I remember I texted Coach Foster. It was like right before Christmas. And I said, Merry Christmas, Coach. I'm coming to Bradford.
No, you
So,
didn't.
yeah,
You
I
did
did.
not say
I could,
that.
I could pull up the text right now. I could say, Merry Christmas, Coach. I'm coming to Bradford. So,
That's funny.
so yeah, I committed late December of my senior year. So, 2019.
Yeah.
And then obviously COVID happened, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
So
So it was three schools.
yeah,
Allegheny, Teal, and Bradford. And you said you made that pros and cons list. What was like was it the academics or like was it like you like 'cause something I did and they kind of know now and I looked at the roster because I had Mount Union and I had Bradford. And right after my Mount Union visit, I went on Mount Union's website and looked at their roster. They had like 70 something guys
that's crazy.
on their roster. I'm like, Dad, I don't want to play JV for
Mm-hmm.
2 seasons and not playing in important games. Maybe 3 seasons if a kid transfers in or something. I'm like, that's something I just don't want to deal with because I
Mm-hmm.
just dealt with that in high school. So when I was looking, like Bradford had at the time, they had like a 30-man roster, and they were losing a third baseman, Drake Wren, not
Yep.
Drake, no, Dalton Wren.
Don't read. Mm-hmm.
Dalton Wren was graduating, and then Sammy D was a sophomore, and I'm like, sophomore going to junior. I'm like, not a bad position to be in
Yeah.
because I didn't expect to play as a freshman,
Mm-hmm.
and somehow I hit well in the fall, and I got a lot of playing time. I played over half the game. I started over half the games as a freshman.
Yeah.
Something you kind of can. No, you can't really.
No.
You
No.
didn't play a lot your freshman
I
year,
I played. I
but
think like 10 games my freshman year.
yeah. So like, what set each school apart?
So
I guess is a good way to say
I'm
that.
gonna be very very blunt here. A lot of it was cost. Trying to go to each school because I'm
Oh,
like
yeah.
paying for
Allegheny's
school
private,
myself,
right?
and yeah, because Allegheny and Teal are
and Teal
private. And like obviously I have aspirations of going to medical school, and that's
Yeah,
very expensive too.
just a little
So
bit.
I wanted to um, weigh out my options there. Cost was a big thing. A big thing was also playing time. And here's the thing: I didn't look at rosters. So on the overnights, you meet you sit down, and you have meetings with the coaches, and they kind of tell you like what's going on, what their program's about, and what their kind of vision is for their program. And I asked each individual coach, I said, do you see me having a legitimate shot at playing all 4 years here? And like, I want you to be very blunt with me, like, and where I'm at talent wise right now. And because obviously I'm going to develop and stuff because you
Yeah.
change from your freshman year
I'll
to
get.
your senior year.
I'm gonna get
So
into that one
yeah,
because
so
we
I
both
I
know.
was very blunt and asked that of all of them, and I got the same answer. I said they said yeah, like you have a legitimate shot of getting some time. Like obviously we can't guarantee you a starting spot, but
No
like
one. Yeah.
I mean realistically you can't. But like they said they could see me playing, and I know how my work ethic is, so it's all about taking that into consideration. And then I don't know. I think the thing that set me uh, sold me on here compared to everywhere else was just the home aspect of here. Like I felt at home. Um, but no, I think my biggest advice to like all you guys out there who are getting into this recruiting process is be honest with yourself and be honest with them because that's all they want. And if you're not going to be honest with yourself, you can't expect uh, to be successful when you can't be honest with yourself. So that's probably the biggest thing because my parents taught me to like if you want something, you go out and you do it yourself. Something as simple as ordering a pizza for the family. Like they were like, you're making the call, like you're doing
Yeah.
that, you know.
I got you.
And real funny story, quick story, but this ties into it. So I ended my 15U year at core, and my core team broke up, and I was looking for another team, and uh, I didn't try out at Steel City because that team, my age group, they didn't have one either. So I actually tried out. So I tried out at Triple Crown, and I tried out at Spikes, and I got offers from both. And I told my parents, I said a lot of my decision making is all like, where am I going to get playing time? Because I want to play. I'm 15,
Yeah.
16
You
years
want to
old. I'm trying
play.
to develop, you know. And I knew Spikes was a prestigious program, and and they found a lot of success with getting kids to college and stuff. And they said, well, why don't you call Chase and talk to him about it? And I remember I was 15 years old, and I called Chase Rowe, who's a legendary coach at La Roche, and he runs Spikes and Battleground and stuff. But regardless of opinions, that dude's very successful.
Yes, yeah.
And like 15 years old, scared to death to talk to this guy, and
Shivered in your
I said,
boots.
you know what? I called him. I said, Chase, here's the deal. I said, I really like what you offer, but am I going to play? Because if I'm not going to play, I'm not going to exercise this option at all.
Yeah.
And you know, he told me it was regardless of the playing part. He was like, I just gained so much respect for you because you had the balls to call me and tell me that you're what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So, and I've kind of taken that in stride from then on for the rest of my life, and I will continue to do so.
Yeah.
And that's something that like I think the younger kids need to know is like, you know, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. Be honest with yourself.
Mom and dad can't hold your hand forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that's all part of growing up. But I feel like that was a relevant story to share just because
I like that. That's a good story.
That's a
like
transit. It was a pivotal point in my like adolescence to becoming an adult.
Yeah, I got you. So we'll get into the fun stuff now. That was kind of the boring stuff, but now we're going to talk some ball. So, your sophomore year, you played a handful of games. You did all right.
I played less my sophomore year than my freshman year. Do you know that?
I did not.
Mm-hmm. I played like 3 or 4 less games.
That would have been what, my junior year?
Mm-hmm.
That would have been like McNabb's last year.
Yeah.
It was. I guess that kind of makes
that
sense.
Was
the outfield was kind of loaded. That's why.
Yeah.
The outfield was kind of loaded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you take so this is my question gets even better now.
All right.
So, freshman year, you play a handful of games. Sophomore year, you play less games, and then last year, what the hell happened? Because this kid came out of nowhere, like no radar, like not even in sight, comes out of nowhere, bats like 350, finishes first team all conference at 2 positions, essentially, being the utility player.
Yeah.
You started 40 games, right field. You didn't come off the field. You played
No.
right in. Oh, I guess you did. You started 39 games because your hand hurt. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But you started in right field, and then game 2, you're catching the nines. Like, I know that was something you really wanted to do last year. We talked about that. But explain to me how you go from sophomore year not playing a lot to first team all conference, essentially.
Well, I'd say my big transition was like figuring out my body. Weight room was a big thing. I put on.
Before you get into that, that's the third person that said weight room. So get in the weight room.
Yeah, weight room's huge. Like I came in probably $160, and like coming into my freshman year, and right now I'm 190.
Yeah,
and I still run as fast as I did then, if not faster.
Did you get sub 7? No,
I was close though. Actually, spring of sophomore year, or fall of junior year, I ran a 6.99, so I just got under 7. So, so I ran about just as fast. But I mean, the importance of the weight room is huge about keeping your body just healthy, keeping your arm healthy, and then just getting stronger. Like my arm strength improved significantly as well. But I mean, the big thing is developing a routine and making it a habit. Like
you did.
I mean, last year
really well.
Last year, so I learned from a lot of guys before me who I kind of wanted to, like, they were my mentors here, like Sammy D. Bless you.
Oh, thanks.
Like Sammy D.
Sammy D is a great one. I learned from Sammy too.
Like
I texted him last year.
McNabb.
McNabb's another great one. Coach McNabb to you.
Yeah. So it was kind of one of those things where you're like, man, I want to be there, but I don't know what it takes. So you try something out. You try something out, and you stick with it. And if it works, keep doing that.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, you got to scratch it, make adjustments to it, whatever. So the big thing I did was I was up 5 days a week because the gym didn't open on Saturday, Sundays until noon. But Monday through Friday, I was up at 6 a.m. I would go to the gym, get my lift in. I would swing. I would throw if I needed to. And do my defensive work, my PFP work. And then
your what?
PFP work with in the outfield, doing my progression work.
You said PFP.
Yeah.
That's pitching fielding practice. You're not a pitcher.
So position. Position fielding practice. That's my PFP. So and then I would I would run and sit in the sauna, and I would do that from 6 to probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and that was my baseball stuff for the day. Then if I would have class, I would be going to class and then going back to the gym and doing my thing. Then, like, I would eat lunch, whatever, do schoolwork, go to practice if I needed to, and then I would have classes and stuff that I would have to jumble to. And then I'm an RA on campus, so then I would have to do rounds that night, and I would be up till 11:30, midnight.
And guess what? Guess who's getting up at
6 a.m.?
6 a.m.
Same guy, you know? And I did that all year last year. I have everything logged down of what I did in the weight room. I have specific programs that I did. I have rep schemes, set schemes, all of my weights, my weight percentages, and I could go through since probably 2021 every single workout I've done in the weight room since then, and how much improvement that I made. And then I think the big thing hitting was finding somebody who swings like me and has an approach like me.
Man, I don't know anyone like that.
I don't know anyone like that.
I couldn't think of anybody like that.
But I mean, you're a big one that's like,
we talk so much.
We talk so much ball about swinging,
about hitting.
And the big thing is his approach. And then Nico Hall.
Gary,
he's a Steel City Select alumni. Actually. So
man, I love that.
He was a part of the program, but and because I played him when I was younger, and that's kind of how I knew him. But I mean, you just go upstairs and you just talk. And you figure
watch
it out.
You watch. You talk. You ask questions. That's a big one. You ask questions. Even though Gary's younger than me, I would talk to Nico last year.
Yeah, it's
when I would go hit with there and he was there. I'm like, what do you see? Because that kid's got an eye like I've never seen before. Like he shocked me with things he was telling me. I'm like, wow, like I didn't think about that. That's a good point, Gary.
And like it's a big feeling thing. So it's almost it's really hard to explain feelings to other people because people don't think the same. But I mean, if you and I and me and Nico think the same, then it's easier to translate thoughts. So I did a lot of that, and then I worked on my mental game a lot. And I told myself, how can I get upset and frustrated and mad at a failure-based sport when I put in so much work?
Say the statistic. Drop the statistic again from. You know the statistic, right?
What about
the failing?
Yeah. You fail 7 out of 10 times. Yeah,
and you succeed 3 out of 10 times, and you're considered a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So we're playing a game where the odds are stacked against us already.
So the bit like. And I don't think the mental game gets talked enough. And I think the big thing that I kind of take from it is if I can do everything in my power that I can to make myself better and I don't succeed, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
That, like the failure was bound to happen. And maybe that just wasn't my day. But the big thing is, and this is an approach mindset thing for me, is simplifying the game down so much that I'm winning even when I'm losing.
Yeah.
So let me give you an example. So
little victories.
So there's a couple qualifications that I go through in my head of winning.
Yep.
Having an at bat over 6 pitches, I won that at bat.
Yep.
Walks, getting on base, hitting, quality at bat, I won that at bat. Barreling a ball at somebody and getting out, I won that at bat.
Yep.
Doing a job for my team, moving a runner over, scoring a run from third base, sacrificing at bats
for the
bunting.
Betterment of it.
I won.
Yep.
You know, even if like I was on time in my whole at bat, and I saw good pitches and I swung at good pitches and made good decisions.
I did. That's a big one for me.
I won an at bat.
That's a big one for me.
So even with getting out, striking out, because those things happen, making errors, I'm still winning. You know, and I'm still winning, and that keeps my head straight. You know, and I mean, what's the saying that we say? Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple. My 14s know all about that.
Yeah,
that was a big thing that I kept telling. When I saw like they start like panicking or they hit a slump, I'm like, dude, just kiss the baseball. Kiss the baseball.
Yeah.
They would look at me funny. I'm like, keep it simple, stupid. And then it all was like, oh yeah, you're right, coach.
Big thing when I've slumped and I'm struggling at the plate and I'm not seeing the ball well is, and this is also something I talked to Nico about. Quiet feet, quiet eyes, quiet mind. If I can control my load, and I can understand what's going on under my feet, if I can relax my eyes and relax like my body to see the baseball, and then I keep my head clear, I'm putting myself in a good position for success.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, no matter what the pitcher throws me, I got to have the confidence that I'm going to hit the ball and I'm going to beat them.
Nailed it.
So
to kind of talk on your 4 points or 5 points you made, I'm similar, but I dumbed it down even more. So whenever, like last year, it was, for me, did I swing at a pitch I want to hit? Yes or no? Did I hit the ball hard? Yes or no? And then the same one, did I get a job done? Yes or no? And then obviously a quab, which my quabs were a little different than yours because your role was to get on base so I could drive you in.
Yeah.
And so my quabs went, did I get an RBI? Did I drive his pitch count up? Did I hit a double? Like, those were my quabs. So based on different hitters, because you're more, I don't want to,
I'm a contact hitter.
You're a contact hitter. Your goal is to get on first base.
Yeah.
My goal is to get on second base with a double. So that's just kind of like how we differ in hitting a little bit. And that's something that you guys got to start understanding. What type of hitter are you? And again, I keep referring to them, but I went back to my 14s and I told them, look, you don't have to do too much. You're batting in this role because I know you can get on first base. Let the big boys drive you home. And so
that's a big team aspect thing too. Is there's a huge misconception when kids are younger of, man, I just need to like hit for OPS, extra base hits. Like I need to be elevating the baseball. When it's like, this is a team sport. It's not an individual thing. Like, if your team fails, you lose. I mean, that's just the way it is. But if your team succeeds, you win. But the biggest thing is just understanding your role on the team, and I think I took that to heart last year too. That's also a big transition thing. I understood what I needed to do to put the team in a good spot to win. Like, I batted usually second in the order. I batted at the top of the order, and my job was, because our leadoff hitter had like a 450 on base percentage or something.
He walked
something ridiculous like that. But my job is to move him over. Like, regardless of if I get a hit or not, cool. But my job is to get him to second or third base, regardless of if he's trying to steal or if I need to move him over to third base, to have guys in the middle of the lineup like Evan and you and Max and Belak
to drive him home.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I laid down bunts last year. I probably laid down bunts 15, 20 times.
What was it? The first 4 games, I think all you did was bunt.
Yeah.
You might have taken one swing.
But here's the thing too, and this is really cool, is you can increase your batting average by learning how to bunt. Because you can bunt for base hits. I'm not a fast dude by any means. I mean, you heard my fastest 60s is 6.99.
Hey, you're moving.
I mean, for being a catcher, yeah, like a catcher, corner outfielder. But if you can learn how to bunt and place a good bunt down, you're doing your team a big favor, and you're putting pressure on the other team to either throw the ball away or you beat out a throw.
What did you just say? What was that P word you said?
Pressure.
Pressure on the defense?
Yeah.
14 USCS Navy, you know all about putting pressure on the defense. And it doesn't change when you get to college.
No.
Striking out does the team really no good. You just kind of gave the other team an out. It doesn't happen yet. But the goal, that was another goal of mine last year, was just simply put the ball in play. Don't strike out.
Yeah.
Make them make a play.
Here's the thing.
Because you don't know what's going to happen.
At the end of the day, strikeouts are inevitable. You're not going to, there's going to be times where you have really bad at bats. But those times where you put yourself in a good situation to try to do a job, or you have a quality at bat, you fail. That's going to happen. But you want to be putting yourself in that spot consistently. And I know I did a lot last year.
Yes, you did.
I did strike out a lot.
You and me both, baby.
I'll be honest with you guys. I was second on the team in strikeouts for the whole season, but I batted 350 because I understood my role and how to do my job and put myself in a situation to have a quality at bat. And I did. I mean, a lot of those strikeouts are quality at bats. They were 6+ pitches. But at the end of the day,
it
happens.
Oh yeah.
So
does it happen a lot more? Sadly.
Yeah, but that's something that I've been working on, and I've been working on over the summer. Obviously, I'm a little stinted right now in working on that, but
his hand hurts.
But yeah, so that's the goal, and that's what I tried to work on over the summer was striking out less and continuing to do jobs and understand my role. And that's something that I want to take into this year. But, that's just where I'm at.
So you brought up this thing a while ago called routine. You said you had a daily routine in the off season. You wake up at 6. Your days go from 6 to 11 at night. You want to take us through a home game? Andrew Bokulich, what's your your go through? Because I know mine. I'm up an hour before report time. I'm showering, I'm eating, and then I'm heading down. Or probably last year I was seeing Mitch before home games, and then I was heading down to the field. And then,
so do you want a weekend, or a Saturday home game, or do you want a Wednesday home game? Because my routine's a little different on both.
It does kind of differ, but
what do you want?
We'll go Wednesday.
All right, Wednesday game day. All right.
Yeah.
So 6 a.m. wake up, get to the gym. depends on what I had to do at the gym. I usually made my workouts a little lighter,
naturally.
a lot more of putting time under tension on my muscles and getting myself stretched out and ready to go. Uh, so most of the time I'd be doing shoulder and hip mobility stuff, because that's something that's really important to me, especially being a catcher.
So,
And
before you go on, for reference, guys, our home games are 1 p.m. starts,
mhm.
and then report time to the field's about 9:45 in the morning,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
our BP starts at 10. So, for reference, there to help you guys out.
Hmm.
So, up at
So
6 at the
so yeah,
gym. Go,
at the
yeah.
gym doing my thing. I'm probably out of the so I don't sit in the sauna on those days, um, because the sauna just it wears
Dehydrates
you
you.
out
Yeah,
and
don't need
dehydrates
that
you, and you don't
on.
want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would do that. Then I would get back to my room, take a shower, uh, and then I would go get something to eat. So my game day type thing routine stayed the same since sophomore year. I go to Dunkin', I get bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel with hash browns and an orange juice, and it's $8.66. I
Really?
remember even the
It's
price. So I do that every morning.
every game day morning.
Yep, every game day
Yeah.
morning, and then usually I'm dressed, I'm getting hyped up with the boys in the room, and then I get to the field a little earlier.
Like nine
So
thirty ish.
report time's what 10. So I usually get there around 9:15 ish. So I get comfortable, I get situated. I like having a little bit of
You're
time to
not
like myself.
rushed.
I'm not rushed. So when I'm at the field, I go through the first thing I do is I foam roll. I roll out. I um, if I couldn't do any sort of hip mobility at the gym, I would do my hip mobility at the field and my arm mobility. So J bands, other bands, things like that. And then come report time, set the field up for BP. We'd do dynamic, and then we'd hit BP. After BP, I would be out and right. I would shag. I'd get my reads. Something Mike Trout said too is the most important part of him improving his game was from uh, getting reads during BP. So, and that's almost as realistic as you're going to get for outfield. So after that, I would come in. We'd have a little bit of downtime because the other team would have to take
Mm.
BP, and then after that, we would get
IO.
the field ready for IO. So by that time, I'm getting hot out in the outfield, throwing with Nico. Throwing partner stays the same. I've only had two throwing partners here,
Me too.
uh, McNabb and Nico. So
I had
um,
Labady and Babcock.
those are two good throwing partners.
Yes, they
too.
are. Me and Labady only threw 90 feet and said, "Yeah, we're good."
But yeah, so I would throw, I'd get hot. Before that, I'd be doing J bands again, stay loose, and then by that time it's IO,
And then that's game time.
and then game
Honestly,
time.
IO for me
Mhm,
at least, it's game time.
mhm.
Then
Big thing too. I want to also stress this is a part of my game day routine. The night before, or at least the day before, I go through scouting reports.
oh yeah, yeah,
I mean, I'm a catcher, so I have to at least give myself an advantage
yeah.
on calling games and stuff. So I go through scouting reports. I have a notebook, and our starting catcher Evan has
Oh,
it too. We each have notebooks. We write down scouting reports. We watch film. We go through 643 charts,
love six
um,
four three. Dude, I love 643 charts.
and write down what I need to write down to get myself ready to go. I can't give all of my secrets away. So, uh, and then I sit and I converse with Evan about a game plan and establishing a game plan on calling games against
Yeah.
the other team, and then we communicate that to the pitchers,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
we go from there. But that's something that I start my preparation for a game the day before because I have to get myself mentally prepared. So I'm mentally ready for the game, and then
Yeah.
obviously play the game. After the game, it's usually doing some homework.
No. After the game, it's eat a sandwich real quick and then play game two
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we play double header.
Well, after both games,
Yeah.
it's getting some homework done, rehydrating because that's really important. If I'm feeling sore, really tight that day,
Go see Daddy
doing a
Mitch.
run or going to see Mitch. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a game day for me.
Yeah. Folks, thank you. We are out of time.
Woo! Yeah, we were cooking through
Yeah,
that.
that was
Man,
fun.
like Pat said in the last episode, Like I could talk for 2
Oh,
hours
dude,
with.
we would
Dude,
talk all day.
Dude, we could make our own podcast, just you and I together,
Yeah.
just talking ball
All
because
day.
I mean we're on the same page.
Yeah, we finish each other's
sentences.
sentences.
Come on, you'll get it. You'll get it one time. So, but no, I thank you for having me.
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
would you like to shout anyone out? Pat shouted out some people, which he kept talking this shout out up, and then it was kind of like
yeah, it was kind of a letdown. I
it
did
was a
see
mediocre shout out.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, mom and dad, they're great, but like,
I mean, of course,
you
I
talked it up,
gotta shout out. Like, well, I have to shout out my mom because
Mary Alice.
her birthday's today. So,
oh no way,
yeah. So I get to shout her out today.
Happy birthday, Mary Alice.
Who else do I got to shout out? I mean, I obviously got to shout out the boys, the UPB baseball team. And then, you know what? I'm going to be nice too. I'm going to stay within the family ties. I'm going to shout out my sister because she decided to come up and play softball here. And she's understanding her own routine, and she's going through kind of what you guys are going through right now. But then a little bit in the future for you guys. So,
I like it. Bokulich's take over Bradford, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Andy, thank you, man. Good luck this year. We're gonna have some fun this fall. Go Gold Team.
Hey! I'm a Royal Teamer for life.
Yeah,
Kitsy knows that. Oh wait, no,
you're on blue.
No, yeah, I was a Royal, but when I hit that walk off of Kitsy, I was playing for gold.
You were playing for
Team
gold,
baby.
Team Gold, baby. Yeah, Bo, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Good luck this year. I'm hoping the best for you. I want to see you got to repeat now, dude. You got to go repeat a first team all conference.
It's the expectation, man.
You got to. After you do it once,
the sky's the limit, man.
Always is.
So,
there was something else I had to say, but I guess not. Someone sponsor me. Sponsor the podcast. We'll put your flag right in that corner.
Yeah, I told him his room's looking a little bland, and he needs to like spice it up a little bit because these white walls make it kind of like prison-like, and I'm not getting that vibe here. So,
Bro, thanks, man. Like and comment, and comment questions on what you want to hear these guys talk about. Follow me on TikTok. I'm Coach Dirt on TikTok and Instagram. Andrew's Instagram will be in the bio down below. Give him a follow. Show him some love. Kid's going to ball out this year. Who do you think's next? Do you know who's next? Did I tell you who's next?
I don't, but I'm hoping Babcock's on the list because, I mean, he was like, I want to be a special guest, but like.
Babcock is not on deck. It is Alexander Colwell.
Oh, Scoob, the old roommate
on deck.
All right.
I can't give out who's in the hole because that's too far down the line.
Okay.
Andy, thanks, man. Get better. I want to get back on that field.
Thanks, man.